Hey movie fans, welcome back to After the Credits, where we break down the latest and greatest movies, including our favorite scenes, quotes, trivia, and even how we think it should have ended. Grab a bowl of popcorn and enjoy the show.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to After the Credits with Tyler and Dylan. This
Hey.
time not in the dungeon. What the
Yeah.
fuck, man?
What the
We're
fuck?
actually coming. Yeah, we're coming to you remotely. And with the festive outfits and the relaxation of our own like office area. So
Yeah,
it's
I
pretty
wouldn't
cool.
really say relaxation, but yeah. Doing
Yeah.
a Christmas episode. Ho
Yeah.
ho hoes. You fucking
We
ho.
did our Halloween episode. We aren't episodes, and we weren't going to skip the festive Christmas season. So
That's
I
right.
figured we'd come at you guys, kind of last minute before Christmas hits, and talk about one of our favorite, at least mine, one of my favorite, Christmas movies of all time.
Yeah, if you don't like this movie, then your mom's a hoe.
You go straight to hell. Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah.
Krampus
So
gonna
I
beat
mean,
you with a stick.
yeah, it's a classic that since I mean probably my earliest Christmas movie I can remember watching.
Well,
Honestly.
let me ask you this question. Are you older than this movie, or is this older than you?
This movie is older than me by 4 days.
Oh, no shit.
4
What?
days. Yep.
Okay, well, go into it, Tyler.
Let's
Do
hop
your
into it.
thing.
So we're gonna talk about Home Alone, the original Home Alone, because there's been like 20 fucking sequels and remakes to it. So young Macaulay Culkin, obviously. The synopsis for this one, if you haven't seen it or you don't know it, what are you doing? An 8-year-old troublemaker mistakenly left home alone must defend his home against a pair of burglars on Christmas Eve, the Wet Bandits. So yeah, that's the synopsis. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Am I missing anything, Dylan?
No. I
Okay.
mean what was the shovel serial killer?
Oh yeah, that's right. The old man neighbor that saves the
Right.
day.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So for the tagline for this, we've got when Kevin's family leaves for vacation, they forgot one minor detail. Kevin. But don't worry, he cooks, he cleans, and he kicks some butt. That's a very 90s tagline for a movie, by the way.
Absolutely it is.
Yeah. So for the director here, we've got Chris Columbus. This guy's actually a fucking savage. Chris Columbus has directed this. He directed give me 1 second. Let me pull it up here. I have it
Well, actually,
in other places.
because this is 2023. I mean, I can get some things pulled up here, maybe.
What else has Chris Columbus directed, Dylan?
America.
Directed America? Is there a movie called America that I'm not aware of?
No, I was just thinking Christopher Columbus.
The Christopher Columbus joke.
So,
I get it.
Yeah, I think this is sharing here. But yeah, you've got Home Alone. Oh shit, you've got Harry Potter.
Yeah, dude, Home Alone, Harry Potter, Mrs. Doubtfire, The Breakfast Club.
So, and this is a hot take here. Oh, and fucking Gremlins. Okay.
Oh, he did Gremlins. Yeah, I didn't know he did Gremlins. Fucking great.
All of these movies, with the exception of I don't know this Percy Jackson movie here.
Oh yeah, it's a Greek mythology type movie.
Okay. But most of these movies that I'm seeing here are Christmas themed.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Miss Doubtfire.
Yeah, I don't think it is. But like your Harry Potters and your Home Alones and your Gremlins.
Yeah, that's Gremlins. Yeah, that is true. You're right.
That's crazy.
You're correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Good to know.
I'm gonna shut up now.
No, that's awesome. But yeah, so Chris Columbus is the one who directed this. He obviously directed some bangers. Like we said before, November 16th, 1990. I was born November 20th, 1990. This came out 4 days before your boy was born. So, Yeah, I mean it's one of them. Like I said before, one of them classics. It had a pretty normal budget for a comedy. It had an $18 million budget. Gross U.S. and Canada fucking went wild with 285,761,243 dollars. So it made so much money. In the opening weekend, it made all but like $300,000 of its budget back. And that's
Oh
just
shit.
opening weekend. But then gross worldwide, which is a record-breaking number for that time, was the 476,684,675. So at the time, uh, you know, no comedy that had ever grossed that much worldwide, um, which is kind of cool to
Yeah.
this movie is a fucking it was a hit. So it was popular back then just as it is now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, and I think we were talking before we hit record that um it was your wife Molly that
Uh,
suggested we do this movie. Originally I think she wanted to record, but things didn't pan out, so we said we're going to do it. We're going to do it anyway.
yes, we
Um
are.
so cue this right now. But this when we had Molly on, what is it, 2 3 years ago, something like that,
Mhm.
we did the movie White Christmas,
Yep.
and that is quite literally an American classic Christmas movie. um
Yeah, like
I,
widely known as one of the first like I mean, because you've got It's a Wonderful Life and Miracle on 34th Street, or
yeah.
is it 34th Street? Yeah. Or like you've got those ones; those are classics. But I mean, White
Mhm.
Christmas is the first like Christmas movie to come out in like color. It was there were albums sold from it. There was, I mean, we're not discussing that, but yeah, I mean, Molly's thing is she loves Christmas. That's one of
Yeah.
her. It's her favorite holiday. She really enjoys it. And it's the perfect time to have her on the podcast. Unfortunately, it didn't work out, but she gave us the great idea to talk
Yeah.
about Home Alone.
Yeah. So thank you, Molly. Appreciate that.
Appreciate you. So yeah, let's talk about the cast, which is stacked. Obviously, we've got Macaulay Culkin as Kevin. You know, it's not his first role, but it's really kind of what he's known for. Um, Joe Pesci plays Harry. His first kind of, well, I guess it wouldn't be his first comedic role because he did My Cousin Vinny, which is kind of,
I
I
don't
mean,
think
that's
I've seen that.
considered a, yeah, it's different. It's really different. But yeah, I mean, that's another kind of comedy type movie that he was in. But Joe Pesci fucking kills it as Harry in this one as
Mhm.
one of the Wet Bandits. Daniel Stern plays Marv. The other Wet Bandit, the other burglar with Joe Pesci.
And that
John
guy's
Hurd,
fucking hilarious.
he is.
The
He's
Daniel Stern.
probably my
Yeah.
yeah. He's probably my favorite character in the movie. Like
Yeah.
he's he's so funny.
Because we're the Wet
Um,
Bandits. It's our calling card.
and then in Home Alone 2, they're the Sticky Bandits because he wraps fucking tape around his hands. So good. Um, but yeah, you've got John Hurd plays Peter. He's the dad. He's Kevin's dad. Um, Roberts Blossom. I didn't know if you wanted to bring him up, but we mentioned we talked a little bit about the shovel, the snow shovel murderer
Oh,
or
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he's Marley. He's the old guy neighbor that ends up coming in and
Okay.
saving the day, basically.
Okay. Okay.
Catherine O'Hara plays Kate. Fun fact: Catherine O'Hara's character in this movie was, I believe, it was either 28 or 30 years old with like at the her character at the time of this that the movie was made. So
Oh, wow.
she was a 28 or 30-year-old woman living in that fucking mansion of a house that they had. Does that not blow your
Maybe,
mind?
I mean, I don't know. What's daddy do for a living, you know?
Yeah, so there's been conversations about this, and there's been rumors that he was like a stock market like Wall Street guy, or
Okay.
that
Yeah.
he sold like real estate and he owned properties and stuff like that, but they never really talk about it. But the dude
Which
makes
one?
money.
And I know it wasn't in this one. But before we wrap up characters, this is my little segue. Fucking John Candy is in this movie.
I
And
have him
it's
in there. Yeah,
it's a cameo bit. I mean, it's a very small role.
hmm
Like he doesn't really do much, but he does play a character in the movie.
yeah,
Um, and more along the lines of like your stereotypical cameo. Donald Trump, was it Home Alone 2 or 3?
Home Alone
Home Alone
2,
2. And
because
I don't know,
he's lost, because Home Alone 2 is lost in New York and he's at Trump Tower
okay. Yep.
or Trump Hotel or whatever.
Yeah. And you mentioned the stockbroker type deal, and then I think douchebag, and then I think Donald Trump.
Yeah, I mean they kind of go hand in hand. That makes perfect sense. But
Uh
yeah, I mean John Candy being his cameo in this is great, and I have some trivia and stuff on that as well when we get to it. It's one of my favorite parts of the movie is seeing him show up with his cameo. Um, let's see I guess we get Buzz, Devin
yeah.
Rattray. Rattray. He plays Buzz. That's Kevin's brother. Gary Bauman, just because I fucking hate his character so much, because I think every family has one of these. He's the uncle. He's Uncle Frank. I think every family has
He's
a
a
fucking
dick.
Uncle Frank. Yeah, he's just an asshole, like
Yep.
a cheap freeloading asshole for sure.
Yep.
And then of course, like you mentioned, John Candy plays Gus Polinski
Yep.
as the polka singer. So yeah, is there any other characters that you want to add, or anything else that you want to add?
I think
There's my last bit of trivia is kind of tied to a character thing. It's like a conspiracy, crazy. I'll mention that at the end, but I mean, other than characters, is there anyone else you want to add?
no, I think that's it. I just mainly didn't want to forget about John Candy because I can see how someone would if
R.I.P. John Candy.
yeah, exactly.
No one should ever forget about John Candy.
I mean, they shouldn't. So,
Yeah.
not with folks like you and me around, making sure that shit does not happen.
They never will, for sure. So let's see. What you want to talk about? Some scenes, some cool scenes.
Scenes, yeah, let's do it.
Awesome. So yeah. Let's see. I have a bunch of them, so I don't know which one I want to talk about first.
I mean, I say maybe you pick your top 2 or top 3.
Okay. So okay, we'll go with. I mean, the absolute K. Just because when I was younger, we had our family get-togethers were big family get-togethers. It would be at our house, and we would have 20 some people, maybe, or around that amount. We'd have that amount of people at our family get-togethers for holidays. But the accuracy of the chaos of having a large family over at your house for the holidays, like the accuracy of that, it hit close to home.
Fuck.
I'm like, this is legit how it goes down. Just kids running around like crazy, parents like, trying to have like 12 different conversations all over the place. And yeah, that scene where Pesci initially comes into the house and all the kids run around, he can't even get somebody to he can't even get somebody to stop and
half
talk
an
to
hour. And then the pizza guy shows up, same, and then they make a little joke like, oh yeah, like you're gonna be here for a bit.
Yep.
But yeah, you're absolutely right. And it captures I feel like enough of the point of view of Kevin, the main character, Macaulay Culkin. It captures enough of like his point of view because you're right. Like my larger family gatherings, like it is so fucking chaotic. Like you go to one person and then they have their own chaos. And then it's just like a bunch of little fucking storms going around. It's nuts.
Oh, dude, for real.
It's absolutely crazy.
Well, and I mean, a complete stranger that walks in their house gets overlooked and doesn't even, as a police officer, and doesn't even know that he's there. And Kevin shares the same, like getting overlooked by his entire family, even kind of put on the back burner too. So they do a really good job of making it seem they're showing us how hectic the entire like. Not to justify it, because you should not forget your fucking child at home when you leave the country, but like it really shows like okay, these are the things that led to like this child being forgotten at home. But yeah, that whole scene, the Kevin, the montage of Kevin at home just enjoying life, jumping on the bed, trying the fucking the aftershave, going in Buzz's room, that whole montage of him dicking around in the house without anyone else there is fucking great too. And then the other, which this isn't a scene, it's kind of like a whole, like just the entire battle between Kevin and the Wet Bandits when they break in the house, like from like the beginning when he burns his fucking hand on the or he walks up the stairs and he slips on the ice. Like from the beginning of that to the absolute end where the guy with the shovel knocks out Pesci and knocks out Marv and Harry, like that whole sequence is just cinema gold.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's scenes like that make the movie and made it to, I mean, the fucking hit that it is.
Yeah, dude.
Um,
For real.
and I'm gonna ride your coattails a little bit. A little hyperfixate on it's the part where Kevin orders the pizza and the
Yeah.
pizza delivery guy and how he's like rewinding the
The
VHS
gangster
tape.
movie. Yeah.
And I mean, even the fact that Kevin could do it, it's not outside the realm of possibilities, right? Like it can happen.
Yeah.
I mean, I know some of my friends that would probably do shit like that.
Right.
But he's a creative little dude. And it's just so fucking funny. And he gets the firecrackers and the pot. I
Yeah,
mean,
dude.
the dude,
So good.
if there's any kid that can be left home alone, it's him.
Yeah.
It's fucking hilarious. And
Well,
then
that whole concept comes back in the second one as well. He does the same thing to the hotel clerks in the second one. Fucking Tim Curry, and
yes,
a young Rob Schneider. Like he does the whole thing with the same actor, just a different movie. Of
yeah.
get on your knees and tell me you love me, like that. Like that's yeah. It's such a good bit that they brought it back, and it works just as well in the second one.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the second thing that I wanted to bring attention to was a lot of this is because I watched it with my kids while we were decorating this Christmas tree.
Nice.
Because that's Christmas, dude.
Yeah.
It was the fact that there's little bits throughout the movie.
Oh my. You okay?
It's like COVID, baby. But it was reoccurring of everyone that was there to deliver pizza or to the taxi buses to pick up the family for the vacation is they drive up to the driveway and they would hit that damn statue.
Yeah, dude.
And then they would back up and it's little things like that. I overlook it at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm in my 30s. I've seen it I probably close to 100 times by now. I overlook little things like that, but my children pick up on little shit like that.
And they think it's hilarious too.
Yeah. And they said something about it. And I was like, oh my God, that's hilarious. Like I didn't think about that. Like they do that throughout the movie. Little silly shit like that.
Until you just brought that bit up where they hit the little guy standing up, until you brought that up, I had forgotten about it, but it took me right back to it, and I'm like, God, that's hilarious.
Yeah,
like that's a funny bit that they keep putting in that they put it. I think happens like 3 times in the movie. It's hilarious
happens,
every time.
Yeah, it's more than 3 times. Because it's each time the pizza delivery guy's there. It's when they pick them up for vacation. The Wet Bandits do it. And I think the cop does it when the cops show up to check on Kevin. I mean, it happens all throughout.
Right.
And so a lot of those things that I'm going to be saying, like my favorite scenes, my favorite quotes, are just honestly going to be reflected of my children watching this movie. I mean the and then to ride your coattails again on the fact of like all the booby traps and stuff like that. It's Hollywood, okay? So I had to remind my kids, take it with a grain of salt. Because it's just a movie. Just like when we watch Krampus, okay? Krampus isn't actually real. It's just a made up character. And in this movie, because my 10-year-old daughter, she says there's no way that he could still be alive with all of that attitude in there too. Because I mean, Kevin puts them through the ringer.
Beats the living shit out of them throughout the
absolutely.
whole...
Yeah. I mean, and she's right. They probably wouldn't be alive anymore. And I can tell you. Yeah, go ahead. I want to hear it.
Sorry. So and I want to get back to you finishing this, but to me, part of the fun of watching the movie, and Molly and I do it every time we watch the movie. It's like, get the fuck out of here. Like, there's no way. Like, there's no way that dude's getting back up after a nail goes through the bottom of his foot and just walks away like it's normal. Like, no. Yeah. When he slips and when his head gets caught on fire with the
that's
torch.
Exactly. It was at that point.
She's like, no.
She's like, he wouldn't be alive. And I was like, well, I don't know. It's just a hat, and maybe he just got a really bad burn. And then after that, he steps on the nail and it goes like through his foot. And dude, if I was a thief, it would be that very second. I'd be like, done. Not worth it. Not worth it. For $500,000, no, not worth it. I don't care. I'm not robbing that house.
Because they're both of them are at different points. So like if I was Pesci, for me it would have been grabbing the handle and burning the M from the McAllister knob in my hand. That would be it for me if I was Pesci. And for it's Marv. Yeah, for Marv, for me it would probably be the nail. It would. Well, does he get? Yeah, okay. Because so the nail is before he gets like electrocuted, shocked. So
the nail's pretty early on.
Yeah, right. But yeah, I would be done. I'd be game over.
Yeah. Nothing's worth it. Nothing. No thievery is worth that.
Nope.
But yeah, that was that I had for scenes. Did you have any others like notable honorable mentions?
Just to kind of quickly mention the chaos of waking up late to start the vacation, your alarms didn't go off. They captured the feeling of like you wake up late for work or wake up late for something and your alarm doesn't go off. They capture that feeling pretty well. The Kevin's scared of the furnace in his basement. The whole bit of him being afraid of that furnace in his basement.
And overcoming the fear too.
Right. Exactly. I thought that was not only was it funny, but it was kind of cool to see him end up, overcoming that fear. Because the entirety of the movie is, Buzz telling him he's a puke and he's a little scaredy cat, stuff like that. And he overcomes that mass fear and ends up just taking two dudes to their absolute physical limits, which is crazy. But yeah, I mean, other than that, like the scenes with John Candy, I love the scenes with John Candy.
They're all singing and fucking having sing-alongs on a little road trip.
Yep, pretty much. Which, you know what? I mean, I can mention it now. It'll come up in the trivia as well. But it was supposed to be his cameo was supposed to be which, if you haven't watched the episode, go back and listen to the episode where we discussed it. But it's a straight homage to his role in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Traveling, trying to get home in time for the holidays with his family. And now, and it's supposed to be like, well, he did this in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles and kept, made it difficult for Martin to get home, Steve Martin's character to get home and see his family. But now he's helping another family member get home in time to get to her son.
I don't think we did that in a full episode. I think
we talked about it on the road trip episode.
On the road trip. And I don't know. You just got me like gears turning and shit. Like we could do like a little spin-off series of like just road trips.
Dude.
Like it would save you the drive from having to come all the way over here to the dungeon. Like I just pick you up and we go scoop the loop.
I love it. I love that idea. Okay. I think it's fantastic.
Right. Put a pin in it. Let's go. Let's
put a pin in that motherfucker. All right, but yeah, for scenes, that's what I got. Why don't we hop into the quotes?
All right, I'm gonna steal the spotlight. I'm gonna do some flippity floppity. The first one that I had to mention is because it has a little bit of like the Dylan story time. So gather around a rocking chair, children.
I'll get the fireplace lit up.
So my late best friend Chase, who I've talked about on it feels like almost every episode.
Even that's not enough. I get it.
Yeah. But he and we were really good friends, and there was this other guy that we went to high school with. I'm not going to name names because it doesn't really matter. It's not impertinent to the situation. But we were talking about this. God, it just sounds so cynical. I was a kid, folks. I was a kid. I didn't know. She wasn't good looking. And our friend said, "Oh yeah, her woof." And my God, Chase and I lost it. Like this guy that like made the joke, he was obviously paying homage to Home Alone. And I mean, it was so funny at the time that it became like an inside joke or like a reoccurring joke.
Right.
And every time I see that scene where Kevin like picks up the picture of Buzz's girlfriend, go woof,
Woof.
I crack up laughing, not just but not just because it's a funny scene. It's a cute little fucking haha moment, but
Yeah.
just because it takes me back to like almost the thousands of times that like Chase and I would look at each other, like see a girl and go,
Woof.
woof.
That's awesome. That's
So that's,
fantastic.
I mean, and this movie has some quotes. And if
We
it
do.
seemed like I was trying to rush you in scenes, it's because I wanted to make time for quotes.
Yep. I've got a few. Why don't you kick it off?
Okay, all right, flipping it back.
Yep.
And here's the other thing I really wanted to talk about with the quotes is it's a very quotable movie. And I can say that so much because again, watching it with my kids were quoting the movie as we were
While you
watching
guys
it.
are watching it, that's awesome.
So I mean, I can't say I didn't ask them, but I can only assume that they've watched it over at their mom's
Uh-huh.
at some point this year. That's the only thing that makes
Or
sense.
I mean, you guys watch it often. I mean, is this the first time you've watched it as a family? This
I
can't
can't
be.
remember. I mean, it's one of those movies that I mean, it's on TV and it's running in the
That is true.
background and you can be doing stuff.
Right.
But I mean, regardless, I don't think my kids have seen it all too much, but
Okay.
they were quoting it.
Yeah.
I mean, the one that they yelled when they overslept is "We slept in," and Kevin,
Yeah.
and I mean, shit. There's so many of them.
hmm
But I wanted to bring that to attention that like my
Your
10-year
children are
old and
quoting
my
it.
6-year-old were quoting this movie.
That's fantastic. Yeah, and I mean, it's a quotable movie. There's a lot of stuff in here
Yeah,
to
yeah.
really hit on with the quotes for sure. Um, do you have any specific ones?
I can't think of any, but I'm sure if you start talking, then maybe I can just holler them out at you.
Let me take this one. Let me get. Oh, my neck actually cracked pretty
Oh,
hard
baby.
there. It felt good. It felt good. So a lot of the good ones are between Marv and Harry, but this one was fully improv, which is why I thought it was funny.
Okay.
It's Harry to Marv. He goes, "Why the hell did you take off your shoes when they're trying to break in, or when they finally meet together after they broke into the house?" But Harry goes, "Why the hell did you take off your shoes?" And Marv goes, "Why the hell are you dressed like a chicken?" I don't know why. But every time I hear the line when I'm watching it, I laugh my ass off. I think it's hilarious. But now that I know that it was fully improv, it makes it even more funny. So that's a great one.
Yeah.
We've got Megan, which was Kevin's cousin. She was played
Yep.
by Hilary Wolf. A little bit of a bigger actress at the time, a younger actress at the
Okay.
time, but she's talking to Buzz when they're in France, and she goes, "You're not at all worried that something might happen to Kevin." And Buzz goes, "No, for three reasons. A, I'm not that lucky. Two, which is funny because he goes, A, I'm not that lucky.
Yeah.
Two, we use smoke detectors, and D, he's an idiot, and D, we live on the most boring street in the whole United States of America where nothing even remotely dangerous will ever happen.
Yep.
Period."
Yeah.
I thought that line was hilarious because Buzz would be like, A, two,
Two
and D.
D.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
This is
So
so
you think
dumb.
like he's pretty dumb, like, oh, he got that mixed up, but then like D.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
no,
No,
in
but
no
he's just an
way,
idiot
in no way does that make any bit of sense.
at all. Yeah. And then just because I mean, Kevin's whole thing was to be able to do whatever he wanted, how he wanted to do it, without his family hindering that. And the line, he's watching Angels with Filthy Souls, which is the one that we mentioned earlier with the pizza guy and the gun.
Yeah.
But he's sitting there and he's got
filthy animals.
Yeah, he's got like a bag of chips next to him, a thing of ice cream on his lap, like a bunch of candy, and he just yelled. He's sitting there and you can tell he's really enjoying himself, and it kind of hits him. He's like, "Guys, I'm eating junk and watching rubbish. You better come out and stop me."
Right.
It's a very kid, like a very childlike line.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And he nails it.
I don't think that they ever come out and say it. But I'm curious when it was chaos before they left for France and the shit uncle was watching a movie, and they said that Kevin couldn't watch it. And he was saying it's not even rated R or anything. Is that the movie that they were watching? The Filthy Animals?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All
That's
right.
one. Yeah. And again, in the second movie, he's watching that and he records it. He is watching that movie, but he records his uncle after he walks in on him while he's showering, and he records the thing or whatever, and he plays it back with that movie for those. Yeah. So yeah, no, it's great. It's great. But that is the movie that they were watching that they wouldn't let him watch.
Okay.
And then another one we got. I'll save this one for the last one because it's not humorous. It's
okay.
It's not. It's deep, and I like it.
Okay.
Marv's talking to Harry. Marv goes, "Kids are scared of the dark," and Harry goes, "You're afraid of you're afraid of the dark too, Marv. Shut up." Like, I love their back and forth between the two of them, and the fact that they know each other that well, it means that they've probably been buddies and they've been doing this for a long time.
That he knows that he's scared of the dark too.
Right, exactly, which is what makes it so damn funny. Let's see here. We've got so Harry talking to Marv. Marv brings the load of stolen goods from the Murphy household to the van, and Harry sees him laughing. He goes, "What's so funny? What are you laughing at? Did you do it again? You did it again, didn't you? You left the water running. What the?" He doesn't say what the fuck is wrong with you, but he goes, "What's wrong with you?"
Right.
I immediately think it's Pesci talking, so I'm like, he's got to say fuck
so
like 27 times.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Because what are you laughing at? He's like, "You did it again, didn't you? You left the water running." He's like, "What's wrong with you? Why do you do that?" "I told you not to do that." He goes, "It's our calling card." Like, with our calling card, he's like, "All the great ones leave their mark. We're the Wet Bandits." That's our first introduction to the Wet Bandits, and initially, and at the end of the movie, right, it's dumb as hell. But at the end of the movie, that's what gets them kind of caught for all the different break-ins that have been going around. They're going on.
They
could
have just went down for the one fucking robbery. They could have went down only for that one, but because of their calling card,
because they've been flooding all the fucking houses.
Yeah, that's so stupid.
Yeah. And then the last, sorry, I got two more. We're gonna bust these out. So this one is between the mom, Kate, and Gus, John Candy. Because have you ever gone on vacation? She goes, "Have you ever gone on vacation and left your child at home?" He goes, No, but I did leave one in a funeral parlor once." She kind of gives him a look. He goes, "Yeah, it was awful. The wife was distraught, and we left the little tyke there in the funeral parlor all day." It was all day. We went back at night, and apparently he'd been alone all day with the corpse. He was okay, though. After 2, 3, maybe 4 weeks, he came around to start talking again. She goes, "Maybe we shouldn't talk about this." He's like, "Well, you brought it up." She's like, "Yeah, I'm sorry, I did." That's right.
Classic
and
John Candy.
Yeah, dude. And I would not be surprised if most of that was improv.
Oh,
like it was. He's so good at it. He was so good at off the cuff things, and they're back and forth between the two of them because they have a history of being in movies together. They're back and forth between the two of them is fucking golden. But the last one is I just like it because it's really it's true. It's not humorous, and it's between Kevin and the old man that lives next door. They meet at the church kind of, and they're talking to each other, and Kevin's telling him like, "Hey, you should give it you should try talking to your son. You don't want to lose out on the relationship and everything." He asks him like, "Well, why don't you talk to him?" And he's like, "Well, I'm scared that he might not want to talk to me." And Kevin goes, "No offense, aren't you a little too old to be afraid?" And Marley goes, "You can never be, you can be too old for a lot of things, but you're never too old to be afraid." Like I just love that line. And I think it kind of leads to like Kevin realizing that, hey, yeah, I'm afraid of these guys at my house, but like I kind of have to.
That's what gave him the balls. Yeah, that's what gave him the balls to go like set up all the booby traps and stuff. Because before that, it was just like deterrent traps. Like having the people dance with the silhouettes and the music and the lights and like he's still having fun and everything. But after that talk with the neighbor, I mean, like Q1
gets
like
down to business.
War Pain. He's like, "Let's fucking go."
Yeah, dude, for sure. Like he's sitting at the table and he's eating his mac and cheese, and the alarm goes or the chime goes off, and it's like, all right, like it's time to just like fuck shit up.
Right.
Yeah. So that's all I have for quotes. Anything else you want to add, you think you might want to add for quotes, or did I cover?
I don't think so. That's it, dude. That's it, my guy.
Pretty extensive, I guess. So why don't we hop into the trivia?
Oh, trivia. with images.
Trivia with images. Oh my! You get to hear me and see me talk about trivia.
And a cute little Santa Claus hat.
In my shot, dude, it's one of those like if you change the
What's on the other side?
no, it's just a different color. It's just like silver.
That's pretty cool. I love it.
Yeah,
I dig it. I'm
yeah.
into it.
Your
I'm
boy
into
got it at the Dollar Tree today when he told me to be festive.
Merry Chrysler.
Merry Christmas.
Happy Christmas.
Merry Christmas. So yeah, for trivia, let's start this out. So Joe Pesci deliberately avoided Macaulay Culkin on set because he wanted Macaulay Culkin to think that he was a mean guy. And it's widely known that Joe Pesci is like an absolute sweetheart to work with.
Okay.
Which is kind of cool. It's a whole character thing that Joe Pesci did. Catherine O'Hara revealed in 2014 that Macaulay Culkin still calls her mom to this day.
Oh wow!
And
okay.
and if you saw when Macaulay Culkin got his star on the Walk of Fame, on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, he introduced her to his mom as well, which is cool.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Joe Pesci was used to adding profanity to most of his scripts and kept forgetting that he was filming a family movie during his character's on-screen outbursts. So the director, Chris Columbus, advised him to say fridge instead of the F word, and a lot of Pesci's unintelligible pain mutterings were his way of avoiding cursing. So whenever you hear him start, it's frigid, 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 frigid. I can just imagine like fucking motherfucking fucking shit, yep. Fucking yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, it's so great. John Candy shared all of his screen time with Catherine O'Hara. The two previously worked together on SCTV in 1976 and were very good friends. John Candy died on Catherine O'Hara's 40th birthday, and O'Hara gave a tearful eulogy at his funeral.
Oh shit, that's horrible.
Yeah. Right, and that's sad. Yeah, super sad. R.I.P. John Candy again. I love you. Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern, the Wet Bandits, felt indifferent about the movie's potential during shooting, so they intentionally gave over-the-top, outrageous performances. Neither one of them thought or believed that the film was going to be a big hit like it was, and then it turned out to be one of the biggest films that both of them ever did.
Yeah,
which is cool.
Absolutely. I mean, I would even say Pesci. I mean, for as far as like family comedies and stuff go.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah. For long lines of comedies, it's probably Pesci's biggest comedic role for sure. Yeah, I mean, given that the sequel did just as well, like, I mean, it's fantastic.
Now, which movie was Hugh Laurie in? Dr. House.
Was he in one?
I think he was. And maybe it was like Home Alone 3 or 4, one of the less popular ones. But
I'm gonna be honest, I stopped watching after 2.
Okay, all right. Can we?
I stopped watching after McCulkin.
Okay, so I have a follow-up question for you when trivia is done.
Okay.
Don't let me forget.
Okay, I won't. Let's see here. So crazy. Macaulay Culkin's stunt double was a very, very short 30-year-old man. Macaulay Culkin played like a 9-year-old boy, and it was a 30-year-old short guy who played his stunt double, which is wild.
That's fucking hilarious.
So,
I mean, dude's got to get paid,
I guess, and I couldn't tell. Yeah. I didn't know. So, another staple of this movie is, just like a lot of the other movies that this composer does, is the score. When you start hearing it, you know exactly who it is. John Williams stepped in when the original composer backed out to do the score. The filmmakers jokingly suggested that Williams do it, even though they never thought that they could get him. But after he saw the early cut of the movie, he was enchanted, in quotes, enchanted and happy to step in. So yeah, but this is you can tell by listening to the music, it's John Williams right off the bat. It's got that very upbeat, like type.
Yeah. Okay. It is a really. I mean the music is. I mean, it's spot on for Christmas.
Oh yeah, dude, for sure. Well, and John Williams did, I believe, Nightmare Before Christmas as well. It's all very. It is all. He just has a very Christmassy way.
He did not do
him.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
He didn't.
No, that was Danny Elfman.
It was Danny Elfman. You're right, because he was the voice of How Dare.
It's okay. It's all right.
Oh,
I mean,
my
we're
God.
really into Home Alone right now. All is forgiven.
I am. Yeah, thank
But
you.
I mean,
appreciate
leave it to the guy with the black Christmas tree and the fucking
to know.
hat on my
Yeah,
Christmas sweater to know that it's Danny Elfman.
and yeah, and I'm an idiot for not remembering that because it's that's like the most obvious score and composer in the history of like Christmas movies. I should have known that. Anyway, so this movie was entered into the Guinness Book of World Records as the highest box office gross comedy of all time, grossing 477 million worldwide, like we mentioned previously. Not only that, but it's a comedy Christmas movie, which puts it in its own other genre in the Guinness Book of World Records.
Okay.
John Candy filmed his part in only one day, albeit it was a 23-hour day. But almost all of his dialogue was improvised, which proves what the whole his whole bit being so goddamn funny. His part was potentially partly inspired by the character he played in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, and also written and produced by John Hughes.
Hey, that's what you said earlier.
Yeah, yep. I knew we'd come back to it. This next bit of trivia. It's also about John Candy, but it's also mentioning another movie that I would like to cover at some point. But John Candy played the role of Gus Polinski as a favorite of John Hughes and was paid the minimum wage by the Screen Actors Guild, just as a favor he did for him.
Really?
The character, yeah, yep. The character was inspired by real life John Lewan, either Jan Lewin, John Lewan, Jan Levon. It's there's different ways to pronounce this guy's name, but he was the polka king who lived in Pennsylvania and whose polka band really did tours around the world. Now, when I bring that up, there's a movie called The Polka King, starring Jack Black, who plays that real life polka singer. And we should 100% cover that movie because it's a true story, and two, it's Jack Black singing fucking polka.
Okay, I'm in.
Yeah, we should definitely do that one. So
yeah, but you got to do me a quick favor. Can you come into the camera real quick? Oh, then no snack. No snack.
Oh,
sorry.
No snackies.
Hurry up and be quiet. And resume.
Okay. John, so the concept for this movie originated during the filming of a scene in Uncle Buck, also starring John Candy, and written and produced by John Hughes, in which Macaulay Culkin plays a character who interrogates a would-be babysitter through the letter opening in the front door as well.
Oh, shit. I didn't know
all
that.
This shit. There needs to be a John Candy multiverse that we need to.
Well, it sounds like there fucking already is. Jesus.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. Director Chris Columbus would ask Joe Pesci to do his "How My Funny" speech from Goodfellas, and when we discussed that with my brother when we did the episode, which you can go back and listen to. Yeah, you go back and listen to that one. And in fact, Pesci was to have a similar scene with Daniel Stern, defensively questioning him about having an edge, played out similar to the "How Am I Funny" scene, but the scene was deleted and never released. Bummer. Because that would have been a real cool scene. So the major success of this movie and Home Alone 2: Lost in New York allowed Chris Columbus to move on to more successful projects like Mrs. Doubtfire and the first two Harry Potter films, and then the other ones that we mentioned previously as well. So the dude is just he can't miss, clearly. Let's see here. Oh, I don't know if you knew this. The boy who played Kevin's cousin, Fuller, in the movie is Macaulay Culkin's brother, Kieran Culkin, and it was his film feature debut.
So that was gonna be one of my questions that I wanted to ask. Is because the kid looks just like him, and it would not surprise me if you would have said, yeah, that's just Macaulay Culkin with some glasses on, dude.
Right? Yeah, for sure. Yep, it's because it's his brother.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, for sure. So a fake burnt head was used for the blowtorch scene. Chris Columbus still has it in his office, which I would have kept it as well. That would have been cool as shit.
Okay.
Chris Columbus cast Joe Pesci because he was one of his heroes. Although he didn't think he'd get him for such a broadly comedic role, Pesci immediately jumped on the role and accepted the position.
Okay.
Guess who auditioned for the Santa Claus role where he gives him the Tic Tacs and he gets the parking ticket and everything, that role?
Oh shit, yeah. Who was that?
Guess, well, I don't know who it was who played him, but guess who auditioned for that role? That's what I want you to guess.
Oh shit, I don't know. Hugh Laurie. Because I looked it up and he was not in any of the fucking Home Alone movies. I don't know what I was thinking.
I didn't think he was. Maybe you're getting a
Mandela.
misdiagnosis.
There's a Mandela effect for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's my guess, Hugh Laurie, because I have no idea. Blow my mind.
No. Another comedian that we lost, Chris Farley, auditioned for the role. He would have been so perfect for that. Like absolutely so perfect for that.
And then that would have been the only time, because I don't think Farley and Candy have ever been in a movie together, have they?
That's a good question. I don't know. Maybe look that up while I go through. I've got a few more, but maybe check that out because that's a good question, and that's something that I want to know pretty bad. So let's see here. The highest grossing movie of 1990 domestically. Ghost was the year's highest grossing movie worldwide. Ghost with the late Patrick Swayze. But yeah, domestically in 1990, this was the highest grossing movie, which is pretty cool. So did you happen to find that?
No, I mean the first thing that shows up was Chris Farley was almost casted in Home Alone. I mean, I can check the Reddit out. I mean, don't know.
Let's see here.
Okay, all right. John Candy was involved in Second City, but
which is where Farley got his start doing the improv and what ended up getting him into SNL.
But yeah, that's it. And then also let's see if I can get something to post here, and well, bam, there we go, folks.
Hey,
if you want to go listen to some past episodes of After the Credits, head on over to that link right there, anchor.fm/after the credits. TJ.
After the credits, T. Yeah, check us out. Make sure to give us a like, follow, share, subscribe if it lets you do that, and let us know what you think of the episodes, and give us suggestions for future episodes. And if you're in the area, let us know. We'll have you on. Come talk with us about movies. We like talking to buddies and people about movies. Yeah. All right, so I got one piece of
TJ. I need to. I'm just now learning how to do all this video stuff. After the credits, TJ. And there you go. After the credits, TJ. Anchor.fm/after the credits, TJ.
TJ. Perfect. Yeah. That link. Follow that one. So I've got one bit of trivia left. It is the one that is the conspiracy theory one. That I thought it was kind of cool to save it at the end. My dad would love this one. And first let me change. Give me 1 second here.
I'm here for it. I'm also gonna see if I can't get the Facebook one.
Just because I like this. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can still hear you.
Okay.
Oh wow! Look at that.
My light up festive glow hat.
Yeah, of your favorite basketball team. That's awesome.
Fuck you, Dylan. It doesn't show up well, so we're gonna go back to the Christmas app. So for this final one, there is a legend and there's a conspiracy theory that Elvis Presley, who died in 1977, made a cameo in this movie, which was in 1990.
Oh shit! Your dad's a big Elvis guy.
Yes, he is. So many of those who believe that Elvis is still alive maintain that the heavily bearded man standing in the background of the scene where Miss McAllister is shouting at the desk clerk at the airport, they believe that it's Elvis. It's right before she meets John Candy. They asserted for years that the man is in the correct age range. It would have been around 50. Elvis would have been around 55 at the time. Makes a head movement that Elvis frequently made during concerts, and that no record has ever been found about this particular actor's participation in this movie. The theory was finally debunked in 2018 when investigative journalists identified the extra as a man called Gary Richard Groth, who had passed away from a heart attack in February 2016. Grott's family was able to confirm that it was Grott in the movie, and also revealed that he had been working regularly as an actor on several Chris Columbus movies, although Home Alone was the first one that he actually appeared in. So it's clearly not true, but I thought it was pretty sweet. I was like, let's talk about that one, because and when I went back and I watched it, I'm like, oh my god, that looks exactly like a bearded old Elvis. It was crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna, if you're okay with it, I'm gonna see if we can't play it. If that's cool with you.
Yeah.
Let me just figure out how to learn to do life, real quick. So just because I don't think I've ever heard of it, and obviously, if I wasn't looking for it, I don't think I would have seen it.
Yeah, we've only got 2 other parts left, so yeah, I have no problem watching this.
Let's see.
Everything's full.
I'm very sorry, but it is Christmas Eve.
What about another airline?
So that bearded
not
guy
that
standing
guy.
behind the woman. Yeah,
Check out the
that guy
extra
right
on the
there.
background.
Yeah.
Nothing available. May I help you get a hotel room in the city?
See the guy with the beard?
We can get you a flight.
Yeah.
I can't wait that long.
So where's his head
I'm
movement?
terribly sorry, ma'am.
I think
but
it
we're doing
happens.
absolutely everything we can.
I don't think that looks too
Yeah,
much
I'm
like
sorry.
him, but
Excuse me, your places to go, people to see. Got a ticket there.
I can see it.
Excuse me.
yeah.
Look, I have been awake for almost 60 hours. I'm tired.
Let's see if
and
there's
I'm
a head
dirty.
movement.
I've been from Chicago to Paris to Dallas to where the hell am I?
Scranton.
Where the hell
I'm
am I?
trying to get home to my 8-year-old son. And now that
Watch,
I'm
this is our
closer to
first
telling it's
video,
hopeless.
and it gets flagged.
I'm sorry.
No,
Right.
no, wait. This is Christmas, the season of perpetual hope.
Ma'am, if
And I don't
You can
care
see
if I
John
get
Candy
out on
in the
the road and
background.
hitchhike.
Right,
It cost me
yeah.
everything I
Can
own.
you hear this?
That maybe that was the
Sell
head
my soul
movement.
to the devil himself.
Let me see if
Yeah, I
I
can hear it.
I'm
Can
going
you
to
hear
get
it?
home to my
Yeah,
son.
I can hear the clip.
Yeah, me too.
I didn't know if you could hear it or
Cost
not.
me
so that's
everything I
awesome.
own. If I have to sell
Yeah,
my
see, I
soul
think that might have
to
been the head
devil
movement.
himself, I am going to get home to my son.
ma'am, if there was anything at all I could do for you today,
Oh.
Do
gonna-
anything.
I'm
I
gonna
can get you a
die
hotel
on the
room.
toilet, but I'm gonna
See,
come
I can
back.
see it right there. I can see it.
Home
I can
Alone.
see the
Yeah.
how he looks like it. I can see it there.
Yeah,
But yeah, that's the bit. That's the scene.
that's crazy. All right, yeah. Please go leave a comment on that guy's YouTube page.
Well, don't, because he died. Oh wait, no, the guy's
on
YouTube
the-
page. Okay, I see what you're
the guy-
saying. Yeah, I
yeah,
see.
the guy that
Yeah.
made it super easy for me to find it online. What
Right.
else do you got for trivia, dog?
Well, for trivia, that's it. But we do have our rankings, and I also have the little surprise that I want to throw at you at the end as well.
Oh,
so let's
shit.
flip hats to let's flip to the other side here. What do you give this
I
movie?
whip my ball back and forth. I whip my ball back and forth.
What do you give this for your ranking, Dylan? What do you rank this movie?
Oh boy. So Dylan's ranking segment here. I'm gonna give this a solid 8.5. 8.5
Hey.
out of 10.
Okay.
Because fucking it's Christmas. Not my favorite time of year, but it's also Christmas. And I feel like if you start celebrating Christmas at a certain time, if you don't give it too much prep time, then it's fucking perfect. And Christmas can be enjoyable. I don't start even thinking about Christmas until after Ozzy's birthday. My daughter's birthday is on the 2nd, and then Ozzy's birthday is on the 3rd. And I feel like starting Christmas season on December 4th, it gives you just enough time. The only thing is, your boy is what we're about. We're coming up to Christmas, and I still ain't got shit under this tree. So
we just put 3 things under our tree tonight.
well, you're 3 presents further than I am. So good for you.
Yep. But no, I mean those are legit reasons as to why it's a holiday staple.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a good Christmas movie. It's got fucking Macaulay Culkin. It's a staple. I mean, I don't know. I mean, this right here is pop culture. Just aftershave. That's pop culture right there.
Yeah, dude, for real. Yep, I agree. So I gave it 8.8 out of 10. So pretty close to what you what you
I
gave
think
it.
that's the closest that your and my rankings ever been. I think that's the closest.
Yeah, for quite some time, for sure.
Uh,
So, but I mean, I've seen this movie once a year since I've been like 5 fucking years old. It doesn't
Yep.
get old. I still belly laugh at certain parts. I still like feel for the old man Marley. I still feel for him because of his
Yep.
relationship with his kid. Like, it's just a very, very good movie, and it's something that I'm probably going to continue watching and will start watching with my child once he's old
Yeah.
enough to really
Yeah.
understand what's going on in it as well.
So here's the question that I wanted to ask you that you
Mhm.
let me almost forget about.
I did.
But
I thought you said it was the Macaulay Culkin thing.
Oh,
His brother.
Oh, okay. Well, no. So here's my question. The most recent, I think it was direct to Disney Plus, Home Alone. That movie. Have you seen that one?
I have not. I've heard good things, but I haven't seen it.
I recommend seeing it. I mean,
Okay.
it's in the universe. And I forget all who's in it, but they get a lot of actors from the original 2 movies. Like I think Buzz is in there as like Uncle Buzz, and he's the new Dick.
Nice.
And that's pretty cool. Did you see that thumbs up there?
Yeah. Did you give yourself a thumbs up?
I didn't know that was a thing that I could do. I mean, I knew it was an Apple thing, but I didn't know it was a thing.
You did it on the. I thought it was just it tracked you because you put your thumbs up.
No, it did, and it'll do that for FaceTime. But we're not FaceTiming right now.
Can you do it with a middle finger? Whoa! Can you do it with a middle finger? Can you try that? Try it. Yeah. Damn. Nothing for the middle finger.
Thumbs are optional for me, folks. I always, whenever I put the thumbs out, I feel like I'm fucking Donatello of the Ninja Turtles.
The size.
Bonito would know what that weapon is called. The little.
It's a sai.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's a sai.
I like how you said what it was, and then
you're like, oh, that might be it.
Bonito would probably know what it is.
Right.
Disregard you. Anyway, that's what I was gonna say is go check out the new one. I mean, I think it's definitely worth a watch, and it's probably still on Disney. Home Alone is on Disney, so you don't need to go buy it. Just get a subscription to Disney Plus if you don't already.
Right.
But also, this is a movie I feel like everyone should own. It should be in their library for sure.
Right. No, I completely agree with you.
Yeah.
So yeah, for the ratings, I think we're good for that. So the last thing that I wanted to bring up is what is your top 5 Christmas movie list?
Okay. So I gotta have Home Alone in there just because it's so fresh in my noggin. So that's one, Home Alone, and then I'm gonna add in the Grinch.
Which Grinch?
So the live action with Jim Carrey.
Good answer.
Thank you. I'm glad I got your blessing for that, honestly. I was a little bit nervous to say it. And then Christmas. A lot of my favorite Christmas movies are like your non-Christmas time movies.
Like Die Hard.
Yeah, exactly. Like your Die Hard.
Which Batman? Batman, the one with
the Batman Returns with Danny DeVito.
Returns. Yes.
Yeah.
How many was that?
We got Home Alone, we have The Grinch, and then and we talked about this a little bit with your wife Molly, is the Santa Claus, I think is what it's called, with Tim Allen.
Yeah.
Oh.
So fuck Tim Allen, but yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. And then with Tim Allen's son from Home Improvement, I'll Be Home for Christmas. Is that what they call it?
Oh yeah, I think so.
That has Tim Allen's son, like not
Jonathan
actually
Taylor
his son.
Thomas.
Yeah, Jonathan Taylor Thomas. Like 3 first names. He's got 3 first names. And then oh man, I don't know.
Number 1.
I don't know. They're all tied.
I'm surprised you didn't put Nightmare Before Christmas.
I mean, yeah, it's a really good segue movie. So yeah, let's fucking throw that one up in there.
Okay.
Is The Nightmare Before Christmas. I'm gonna steal that from you. Let's hear yours. Let's hear it.
So I was gonna ask you for a top 10, but I knew that you would have only 5. But I did do a top 10. Do you want to hear my top 10 or top 5?
I mean, how fast can you spew them out? Are they ready?
We'll do top 10. Yeah. So number 10, I
Oh.
got The Santa Claus with Tim Allen. Number 9 is A Nightmare Before Christmas. Number 8 is A Christmas Story, which is a classic. 7 is The Night Before. I don't know if you've ever seen that one. It's with Seth Rogen and
I don't think so.
the guy who plays Falcon, the guy, and then
Anthony Mackie?
Yes, Anthony Mackie, and then oh my goodness, he was going to play Robin in Batman. He was in The Dark Knight Rises.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Good job. But The Night Before, it's a comedy about Christmas. It's really good. Number
Okay.
6 is Jingle All the Way with Schwarzenegger. Yep.
Why the fuck
Number
did I
5
forget about that movie? That's such
yeah,
a good.
dude.
I gotta
Yeah.
get the Turbo Man.
You're my number one customer. Yeah. And then number 5 would be White Christmas. Number 4 is Home Alone. Number 3 is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Number 2 is Elf. And then number 1 is Jim Carrey's Grinch.
Yep. Okay. I forgot.
So,
I
yeah.
forgot about Elf and
National
I mean,
Lampoon.
in that same Will Ferrell is I think it came out last year, Spirited, with Ryan Reynolds and Will
Ryan
Ferrell.
Reynolds and Will Ferrell. Yeah.
I fell
On Apple
asleep.
TV, I heard that's really good.
Yeah, I fell asleep to it last night, and
Oh, nice.
I recommend it. I mean, it's really good.
Right.
I mean, I don't know if you know about the movie or not, but
Mhm.
basically, Will Ferrell is like the ghost of Christmas Present. And every year they find a jackass to try to unscrooge. It's fucking
Okay.
good.
I'll have to check it out.
And it's a musical too, so
Nice.
you can't go wrong. But
Yep.
god damn it, I forgot about Elf. Yeah. Shit.
Yep. So
There's
that's my.
there's a lot of good ones, but you
Yeah,
got
there is.
you got the good ones. I agree.
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah, I
copy
mean,
and
I
paste.
was like, I gotta slap some surprise on him at the end that he's not ready for. But I figured that would be a good one. But
Appreciate
so yeah, I mean, that'll do it for us. I wanna thank all you guys for joining us. Make
Yeah,
sure to check
thank
out
you.
the Facebook link to let us know what you think and everything like
Yeah.
that. Other than that, I mean, I love you guys. Thanks for
Merry
joining us. Keep an
Christmas.
eye out for Happy Holidays, Merry Christmas for all of you guys out there. Love all of you. Thank you for listening. And keep an eye out for 2024 because we're gonna have a lot of really cool stuff there.
Yeah, baby. Love you. Bye.
Love you guys. Bye.